Peanut butter, no jam. I know we're live. I can see the sign. Yes, welcome back, fellow viewers and audio listeners. I encourage everyone to tune into the live show because we have a lot of fun up in here. But it is Charlie Maverick at your service with Jimbo Banks, and this is the MavCast for the 6th of June 2014. I hope you guys have had a wonderful week. Jimbo, have you had a wonderful week?
Yeah, I had a good week so far. Just been busy at work like normal. 80 hours plus.
How's the weather treating you?
Very damn hot.
Is it sweltering hot or is it just unbearable hot?
It's not unbearable yet. That's next month in August. You know how it goes in Charleston.
I remember, like I've been away from Charleston that long. I remember, the scattered showers during the summer,
Yeah.
and like at the weirdest parts of the day, and right after that, the sun comes out, and the showers like the rain lasted about 5 minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then after that, it's like a steam, like a sauna outside, because you walk across the street, walk to your car, the sun comes out, and it is literally like boiling the water and evaporating that crap, and you know it has to go up. So when you're walking across the pavement, you're getting steamed. So you're a steamed piece of meat every day in Charleston.
That's right. Gets hotter and hotter after it rains.
I remember I had to go to work at had to be at work at 7 o'clock, and then I used to walk out at like 6:30. And you know the feeling when you walk out of your house at 6:30 in the morning, the sun's not all the way up yet, but you are choking because of the humidity.
Or you start to sweat like 10 minutes later, 6:30 in the morning.
Yes, I'm like, there's no reason why I should be sweating at 6:30 in the morning. I have done no manual labor. This is
You just walked out
ridiculous.
your house, you start sweating.
Man, the car is like, I don't know what you want me to do. The AC never cuts off.
No, I don't.
Please don't have a townhouse because the upstairs will never get cool. I know this from experience. You will never get cool enough in your townhouse. Your electric bill is gonna be sky high. It's gonna be like Christmas all summer long. SCNG and Berkeley Electric out to get your money. Holla. Mm-mm-mm. You know the funny thing, I live in Atlanta now, and now I live on the third floor, and the light bill is still not as high as it was in Charleston. I mean, like really, really, it was. I don't know if they do better at the pricing versus like the amount of energy used up. The cost is a lot lower than the Charleston. I don't know what that is because I know there's a monopoly. Georgia Power is everywhere, and at least you have a split between Berkeley Electric and SCNG. I really don't know why. You would think because of the competitiveness in the Charleston area that you have like lower rates because they're trying to. I guess I guess I beat that theory because you have to be in a certain area to even get Berkeley Electric. You have to be in Berkeley County.
No, you don't.
You don't?
No, James Allen used Berkeley Electric. Not James Allen. Johns Island, Hollywood, certain locations you get Berkeley Electric.
Wow. That's crazy. So that's misleading. Dang. Okay.
But every time you turn around, SCNG or Berkeley Electric having a damn hiking the prices every time you turn around 1%, 2% every year to go up on the rates.
Every year. And it's always to go towards technology, advancement in technology. And you're like, shouldn't the advancement in technology help my bill go down?
It should, but it don't because every time, like I said, they added a new power grid somewhere, and it seems like they got to raise up the right prices.
To pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, so our bill's never going to go down because you're going to continuously try to make something new and build something new to substantiate the hike in prices. It's effing ridiculous. Like, why?
It would go down if they start using some more solar power panels or
Yeah,
wind turbine chimes to help power some of the houses.
yeah. You wait on that in South Carolina.
It's never going to happen. I know that. Unless you put on your own house. I have done a couple of houses down here that has on them.
You know them old school politicians ain't trying to hear that new school energy saving. They're not trying
Get
to
that
hear
right.
They're trying to suck every bit of money out of you that they possibly can. And they shall until the day that they die.
And I just did a house for a guy who works for Santee Cooper over here in Ion. He built a $2.5 million house himself. Pay for it in cash.
What?
On the board of the members.
So he sells drugs.
No, he's an electrical co-op, Santee Cooper.
So he sells drugs.
Yeah,
His job is just a cover, okay? He bought a
2.2 million
in cash.
Mm-hmm.
He sells drugs. He works for the cartel. There's no way in hell, I don't care. Jay-Z wouldn't buy a $2.2 million house with cash. Just for the sheer fact you want that to go on your credit, then pay it off with that credit. He would take out a mortgage and then pay it. What?
Not this guy. He paid it in cash.
This dude is part of the cartel. He doesn't want the paper trail on his...
He showed me the title the other day of his house because I had to go back to his house to fix an LED light that went out. And he showed me the title and everything.
What's up with them LED lights going out, man? This supposed to last for a long time.
I know his is guaranteed, but he spent like over $175,000 on lighting.
Well, Escobar will do that. I'm just kidding. Had to do
just blow your mind even that. He spent about $250,000 on audio. He controlled almost everything in his house from his smartphone.
So he has a Sonos all the way around, so a big
Not
Sonos.
Sonos, it's a control system.
Oh, okay.
So he could go to his phone, any tablet. He could open up his garage door, turn on any light he wants, cut off his hot water heater. Anything you want to do, he could do it.
Wow. So I like those thermostats that are out now that you can control with your smartphone. Unfortunately, living in an apartment, you don't really...
You can't get it.
Yeah, you got to take what they give you. So I really am excited about, like, when I get, the house that going to really invest in that, a Nest or a Honeywell, just to be able to control it, cut it off when you're not home. Cut it on about an hour before you get home so it's nice and cool or warm pertaining to the actual season, and then it'll lower your energy bill. Then you get a credit because you have that, and then, oh man, it's all that good. It's all good stuff. Technology is great, man. What did we do before smartphones and connected devices? Like, what did we do?
We actually had to call somebody, go to the house, go to the thermostat and turn it on and off by manual.
You remember the days before online ordering for pizza?
You gotta call them up. Please hold.
Yeah, I am really hungry.
Pizza Hut.
Like you are calling the doctor or the emergency room, and you have to stay on the line. They act like, oh yeah, we don't care. They're gonna keep calling. They're gonna stay on the line. Oh, they will stay on the line. They want this pizza. Somebody's high in that house, and they want that pizza.
Or there's somebody just really hungry who wants that pizza.
It is. Remember Friday nights in the '90s? Like that. I think that was the hike of the enterprise for pizza delivery. Like, you saw it in pop culture, like all the way around. You saw it in music videos. You saw it in movies. You saw it in sitcoms. Everywhere. It's a pizza delivery guy. You saw it in the Ninja Turtle movies. Pizza delivery guy. Yeah, and it was Domino's. Domino's was dominant back then. Then the people realized it tastes like crap. And then they stopped eating Domino's. But I think Domino's really kind of defined that industry, that segment in and delivery pizza. They were the front runners in that. And now we have all these. Let me tell you something about delivery, which is really cool. There's only like a few Chinese restaurants in Charleston area that deliver.
There's a lot
Um,
more than you think now.
Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you how many like menus I have in my drawer right now for Chinese restaurants. Like at least 10 in my like 2 mile radius. So when we first moved here, you gotta believe like every other freaking night it was Chinese food, dude. And it was freaking amazing because they keep your card on file, man, and all you gotta do is give your number, and they were like, "Well, we'll be there in a minute." Awesome. And I had a taste of that in Charleston. It was good, but it wasn't fast. Now, dude, where were we before the pizza and the Chinese delivery people?
You had to
Ah,
go get it yourself.
that was yeah. You know what? Sometimes to avoid, and this is bad. Sometimes to avoid dealing with the pizza delivery guy, I will make up a reason why I have to go to the store, which is right next to Papa John's, and I will go just pick up the pizza.
Sometimes
Because
it's a lot quicker sometimes.
it is, especially on the weekend, and the fact that they always forget something, and I
Especially when you
only,
order especially when you order a soft drink or something. They bring the pizza and no drink.
dude, dude, you do not lie because and the Chinese guy does that too. Chinese delivery guys do
That's
that too.
exactly what I'm getting at. I order that Chinese from Pop Sings all the time, and I ordered a Coke one time. Here comes the Chinese plate. Where's my Coke? Oh man, I forgot about it. I bring you two next time. Next time, I ain't got nothing to drink.
And you are waiting on a drink. So the last time I think we ordered pizza, the guy just straight up forgot it, didn't bring it. The last time we ordered Chinese, the guy forgot it, but and he had a really thick accent. So the guy was like, no, I already gave him the tip and everything. I gave him like a $4 or $5 tip because I was confident. And then when I closed the door, I was like, where the hell's the drink at? So I opened the bag. He was walking down the stairs. Good thing we have stairs. So I caught him. I was like, hey, I was supposed to get a drink. He was like, oh, and he said something. I didn't know what he said. So I was like, okay. So he's gone like for 10 minutes. So this dude had to either go back to the restaurant, which I didn't think that was that close, or he went to the gas station and bought a soda, which I appreciate, I appreciate that. He owned up to the fact that he forgot it. He couldn't have gone into the car because the car was like the parking lot's like right there. There's no way unless he sat in the car. He thought about it like, and I went outside to check. I'm like, where is this dude at? I went all the way out. I'm like, okay, this dude's gone. I walked up the stairs. By the time I sat down and got comfortable, just pissed off, ding dong. He's like, oh, so sorry, so sorry, so sorry. Here. Have a good day. And I was like, well, thank you, sir. I thought you didn't make it. But yeah, man. So I'm starting to think that ordering soft drinks from delivery is like a terrible idea altogether. Like maybe not do that. So I always make up. Sometimes I make up like a reason to go to the store just to make sure. Because if you order there's been times where you ordered the food or they ordered the pizza and you ordered the soft drink, and they're about to let you walk out without the soft drink. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, so I'm waiting for them to just let me walk out the store. I'm like, hey man, I had like a 2 liter Sprite, man. Oh yeah, it's over there in the fridge. Can you get it for me? Can you? I paid for it. Why can't I go get it? You're supposed to have it on the counter ready in the bag, man. What's going on? Why I gotta go get it?
They
I'm
want to
taking.
keep it cold for you.
I know, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. They're like, yeah. I know people that walked out and forgot it, and they were like, yeah, we got them. Yeah.
I got me a
Flip
freaking
that.
2 liter tonight.
Oh, put that in the back. Put that in the back. We rolling tonight. We got something to chase with. All right, so let's get into the show. Man, how long we do that? Like,
15
oh.
minutes. Oops.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean that's how the banter goes. But let's get into the show. That's amazing. Happy Friday night, everyone. First time listeners and watchers to the MavCast. Thank you for staying with us. So I got the Chromebook, and a week later, I gotta say, I'm still impressed. It's the Acer C720p. Has a touchscreen, has a Intel Celeron Haswell chip. Really impressed. Um, I think it's what is it? 11.6-inch screen, pretty good. Chrome OS. How do you feel about? I know you have a traditional operating system on your computer, Jimmy, but how do you feel about the possibilities of owning a Chromebook one day as your primary computing device?
It's possible. I don't know as my daily computer device, but a secondary. I'm rather have a desktop as a primary than a laptop.
So what do you do on a daily basis with your computer? Do you use like primary Windows devices, Office, and all that, or do you kind of like search the web and do of course the shows?
I do mostly invoices and stuff like do Office and look on the internet to find some stuff to do, like normal people.
Like normal people.
Because I don't use my phone that much, you know, to do the internet stuff. It's cheaper for me to do it at the house.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true. Well, I gotta say that since my HP Windows 7 computer has died, I had no, no thought about getting a Windows 8 laptop or desktop. I was either going to get Chrome OS or I was going to get Mac OS, and pretty much didn't want to shell out over $1,000 at this point in my life to get something that I could. I just want to browse the web. I want to touch the screen, and you can't do touch screen gestures on any Mac desktop or laptop. You can only do it on the iPad, and that's why all those segments are selling. But I really just wanted to have something that integrated well with Google, because I'm a heavy Google user at work and personal. And I want something that works, long battery life, not getting sluggish, no viruses, just perfect. And my conclusion was, after heavy research, was the Chromebook was the best fit for me. And of course, it's not the best fit for everyone. It's probably not a good fit for you because you're heavy in invoices. Google, like the Google Suite, is good. It's only really like strong if you were going to do major collaboration, like with others, being in the document at the same time. But if you need like traditional formulas and all that stuff for your spreadsheets and all that, of course, you got to stay in the Microsoft suite, which I totally understand. Um, I don't edit video. That's why we do the Google Hangout. Thank you, Google, for making the Hangout easy. Do a live show, just upload it to YouTube and distribute it out. So I don't need that. I don't do photo editing like Harry does, so I don't need a workhorse to do that. Uh, I mean, it fits my life. And I gotta say, after a week, I had the Samsung Series 7, I think it was, Chromebook from last year and a half, and I had that. I didn't like it. The battery life sucked. The performance sucked after a couple of days. But this one, I really gotta say, I really am impressed by the leaps and bounds that they have made uh, after like maybe 18 months. So I'm really happy about that. So, with that being said, Chromebook, Chromebook is maybe the way to go for a lot of people that just if you have a parent, grandparent, whatever that just wants to surf the internet, get on Facebook, and all that. Don't suggest them to get one of those ultrabooks that cost as much as a
Yes.
MacBook Pro. Don't tell them to get that. They will hate you. You know what? At Christmas, you could have saved them enough money so you can get a good gift other than socks. So if they are just wanting to get on the internet, to surf the web, update Facebook, talk to their people that they're, you know, whatever, get them a Chromebook. Get them a Chromebox or a Chromebook. One of the two. And you will save them from financial hardship. They're probably on a fixed income, so do them a favor and you won't get tube socks for Christmas or your birthday or every freaking holiday that allows gifts.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's something very simple and easy for an older person to use. It won't get them confused. But it's like some people go out and get their parents an iPhone and they don't know how to use it at all. Why would you do that to them? Confuse them? You just give them a one of the simple flip phones would be a lot easier to give to them. They know how to use it. If you keep it nice and simple, it'd be easy for them to use.
Yeah, what's that one that Marvin keeps talking about, the jitterbug?
Yeah, the jitterbug.
the huge keys, the humongous keys on that thing. Stevie Wonder could probably use that. It doesn't have Braille, but
Stevie Wonder could see the damn keys.
He got a point there. Those keys are like my hand, each one.
That's a 3. I can see that.
How you dial 911? Come on, really? The 9 is the entire area.
We're going to get off on another rabbit trail right now.
Yeah, let's bring it back. So everybody is talking about what happened at WWDC with Apple and everything. We saw the fake debut of Dr. Dre, with him being on the phone, talking about how happy he is to take a call from. And let me back up. Okay, so WWDC introduced the possibilities of what we are to expect in iOS 8 and Mac OS, blah, blah, blah. Don't really deal with Mac OS, but primarily we talk about smartphones. So let's deal with iOS 8. So iOS 8 gives you the capabilities to seamlessly connect with your Mac computer, either if it's a laptop or a desktop. And it's basically called continuous client. So once you get close to, let's say I have an iPhone, which I do, and you have one too. If you had a Mac computer, like a MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, if you get close to the computer and you are doing a text conversation or you're on a call, what it does is it seamlessly notices. Seamlessly is hard to say, but but when you get close to the device, then it notices that you are doing this action, and macOS will go ahead and continuously continue. That's redundant, but you know what I mean. It'll continue the action through the main device, which your macOS device would become the hub. So we noticed this kind of thing, this kind of technology with Google Hangout when you are texting on the phone. And you put down the phone, open your laptop, get on Chrome or whatever browser, then open up Google Hangouts and Google Plus or Gmail, and you continue the conversation. Well, this takes it a step forward, and it does it seamless, as we can see in the demonstration, though. It does it to where you don't even notice a hiccup or a misfire. So I think that's something cool that you can just go in, have a text conversation, open up the computer, and then keep on going as if nothing happened. So there were some things that were talked about with that makes it better than Hangouts. Now, Hangouts is kind of convoluted in a way because there's kind of a disconnect with Hangouts, the app, and it's getting better. But there's a couple of things you can't do. If you don't have Google Voice, you really can't make a phone call from your computer using Google Hangouts. If you do a call, it's going to be a Google Hangout, but not an actual voice over IP call, which is going to be like a regular call, not including video transmission. So there's that thing that that's missing, kind of that disconnect right there. So you got to have two components with Google. You only have to have one seamless, what do they call it? Continuous client with iOS devices, and it'll make your life a little bit easier. Now, are people going to use this? I don't know so much. I don't know. Is it kind of interesting to see the implementation? Yeah, I think it is. So, what do you think about that introduction of technology with the continuous client with iOS and Mac OS?
I think people will use it because I use, like you said, Google Hangouts on my phone, and I turn on my computer, and it's right there again. It's something that people will use because if you don't want to use your phone, you just go right to your computer and just pick up the conversation again if you're on your computer without picking up your phone.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense in the way that they're implementing it. It's like one seamless thing. You don't have to have all these moving parts coming into one. It makes it more of a ecosystem centric kind of method. I made that term up, so nobody coined that. I'm gonna trademark that. Ecosystem centric. Almost
Already
forgot
did
what
it.
it is. Write that down. Ego. No, not ego. Ecosystem. See, look, I'm messing it up already. Write it down. Let's trademark it, because somebody's gonna steal that. Look, I gotta coin the phrase.
But I want to know if they're going to let the iPad work with it since it does off the same iOS.
I would assume so. And the only thing about that is the fact that you would have to use iMessage, and I'm sure that iMessage would integrate with it, because if you don't have that cellular connection, you might have that data connection, but if you don't have that cellular connection with the actual messaging app, because iMessage in the messaging app not technically the same thing, but it integrates.
Hmm.
So I think that if you use the actual messaging app within iOS, then you'll be good. I don't know if the iPad will work. We have to see. I think they're holding a lot of things back from what they're going to give us later when they have hardware to go along with the software. So I think there's a lot more news to come in terms of the connection between all your Apple devices. But there's a more interesting thing that we got to talk about, and it brings up the elephant in the room. Elephant in the room is basically the war against Android and iOS, and it's been going on since
Years.
the iPhone's been on, and the G1 has came out, and then Steve Jobs declared war on Android and Google. Steve Jobs died. You know,
But the
things
thing about but
changed.
the thing about Steve Jobs is every time an iPhone came out, he made sure it was better than the other one. He always had something newer and better with it. I don't know what they're doing right now, but they need to get back on that track. Make something. If you come up with an iPhone 6, make it better than the iPhone 5S like we got right now.
Each one gets and here's a weird thing about I feel about the whole smartphone industry. You have these phones that could do so much. You have the you have the whole like initiative to innovate, and you have that race between Android and iOS. You have that race, but now everybody seems to be on the same playing field in terms of like what a phone can do, what it can't do, what its potential is for the next iteration, and then you have to just have these little things that differentiate it. And Android has become a mature OS. I mean, I know back in the day, iOS users used to be like, Android, ha ha ha. It forced closes all the time, ha ha ha. But it's not going to be around that long, ha ha ha. They're just having this as a playground thing. This is just temporary. That's not a real OS. And now it's a really, really, really mature OS that has innovated since the day of its inception. Then you have iOS users which always wanted to have the innovation that the old iOS models did, that the old iPhone models did. Like when it first came in, revolutionary. It wasn't the first smartphone, but it was the first mainstream acceptable smartphone. Didn't even have apps. First iPhone didn't even have apps, but they sold the hell out of it, and people bought into it. And then there was the whole thing about it, innovation. It really wasn't innovation. It was something that was already existing, and they refined it. So you had the whole refining stage continuously with iPhones, and Android just innovated. iPhone just tried to keep up, streamline, perfecting things. And I don't know if the paradigm has shifted so much from the Steve Jobs days to the Tim Cook days. It seems like, and the perception is they're still trying to catch up to Android. Now, Android has all these people that do projects, a lot fail, a lot succeed, but iPhone, Apple tries to refine things that have already been out there and to make it seem like it's new. I don't know if you remember the panorama shot with the iPhone, right?
Yes, I remember that.
You remember they had the commercial like, "Is the newest thing this has never been done before."
Oh crap!
We had it for like 2 years on Android, but people bought into it. And they refined it, and it was really good. It was kind of janky on Android for a little while. Some phones are a lot better than others, but you had the advertisement. I mean, Android didn't advertise it unless you were on the forums, but Apple had the commercials out there to say this is what you can do with your smartphone. And the only company that came to the rescue and said, "Hey, Apple, Android can do this, but it could do something better than you can think of doing," and that was Samsung. And Samsung had, love it or hate it, all the features that they have in the phone, love it or hate it, they have innovated to the way that Apple was scared and shaking in their pants and felt that they needed to step their game up. So what did the Apple do? What did Apple do now? What has Apple done? We have seen for a couple of years that Apple has lagged behind Android, and the whole thing about Apple and the iPhone was it's a closed ecosystem. The whole great thing about Android, which iPhone people laughed at, was like, hey, it's an open source thing. Well, you can do all this stuff, but it doesn't work well. Now you have seen the paradigm shift, and this is where we talk about a paradigm shift. You've seen the paradigm shift change from closed to moderately open. Now iOS 8 will allow for third-party developer integration to their core functionality, which has never been done on iOS before. You can now have predictive text on your keyboard. You're going to be able to download the swipe keyboard. You can have the swipe function on your keyboard. No time have I thought that Apple would ever open that up to developers to be able to go into their operating system and allow them to do this. And this is amazing. It's amazing for the fact that it encourages Android to innovate that much more.
They had to though.
They had to. I mean, you had so many people going from iPhones to Samsung phones, and I say Samsung phones because that was the phone that they were moving to. They weren't going to Motorola phones. Some of them going to HTC. I know one guy, a great guy. He went from an iPhone to a what is it? The HTC One M7 from last year. He loves that phone because he just got tired of iPhone not doing anything. He just got tired of Apple not innovating. People just get tired of the same old thing. That's why I left BlackBerry. I was a BlackBerry lover. I was a BlackBerry advocate. But when they stopped innovating, that's when you got to go.
You wasn't the only one. Me, Harry, Marvin, we all had Blackberries. Joe, not Joe, but yeah, we all had Blackberries back in the day. We still use, like we told you last night. I mean Wednesday night. We still use the BBM app on the Android phones.
I'm really surprised about that too. It's I mean I remember back in the day with the Blackberries. I mean I got Harry on Blackberry. I remember when he first started at IHG, and he had the some LG flip phone, and I got a new BlackBerry, and I gave him my Obama Berry, the uh, the World Edition 8850, I think it was. It was had no camera on it, uh, had terrible battery life, but it was the gateway to the dark side. And then he was subjected to getting the Storm and the Storm 2.
Yep.
After I got the Storm 2, I just gave up. I'm like, I'm getting it. When the Droid came out, when the original Motorola Droid came out, I'm like, I'm getting a Droid. This is ridiculous.
Then
Some
Harry
dude
jumped shift right after that. Then I jumped shift. Everybody jumped shift.
Marvin took a while. Marvin took a while to get off.
Yeah, I think the last one me and Marvin had was the BlackBerry Torch, and after that we went to the Samsung.
Yeah. And it's the fact that they didn't innovate, though. They refused to innovate. Okay, I take that back. Their innovation sucked.
You got better apps with Android than you could have with BlackBerry. It seems like all the good apps was on Android market.
Yeah, and the argument between Android and iOS was all the apps were on iOS, all the good ones. You can still say some of the early release stuff is still debuted on iOS first, but it's an even playing field even with the number of apps. So that takes out of the equation. Then you got Android. Android has run circles around, and I'm not trying to start a war, because guess what?
It already is.
Me and you, we use both ecosystems. We use both of them on a daily basis. Personal phone, we have Android. Work phone, we have iOS. People love iOS. I understand why. I mean, it just seems like BlackBerry to me. It's easy to use. It's a grid format. Nothing too crazy. It just works for the most part. But you don't sit there and think, what else can my phone possibly do? If you're in a crunch, if you're in, let's say you need something done, like a computer function, like you need to edit a file. You need to go into a directory, pull a file out, turn it to a zip file, take it to a zip file, unzip it, reconfigure it, reformat it, do all this stuff, send it out on a whim. You can't do that yet with an iOS device. Soon, I'm sure you will, but as of yet, you can't.
You definitely could do it on the Android though.
Yes, from day one.
Yes, from day one.
From day one, I've been taking files, turning to zip files, and I'm like, well, battery life sucked back then, so you can only do it when you're plugged in to an outlet.
You could do at least one file at a time, and your battery will go dead.
Yeah. But it could be done.
Yeah. But now the battery life a lot better right now.
Oh, crazy. See, here's the thing about battery life. I don't know if it's better or if the battery like capacity has just enlarged so much in thinner phones till we think battery life is better. I know in the Galaxy Note 2 that I had, it was like a 31 milliamp battery, 3100 milliamp battery. That's a huge battery, and the batteries only got larger after that. I assume that the Galaxy S5 has a 3600 milliamp battery, somewhere around
37.
there. And see, look, and the capacity just gets bigger. The technology doesn't get better. I don't know what's going on with that. It just boggles my mind. You can make a processor better, you can make a screen better, you can make the motherboard better, you can make everything better. You can make it lighter, thinner, everything. But
the battery life stays the same.
That lithium ion just has a ceiling of innovation. You can make it better in a thinner frame, but dude, can they not optimize the battery? Can I get a 1200 milliamp battery that lasts the same while as a 3700 milliamp battery? That is what we want.
Yes, it is. Or make it out of platinum, and you can have it awesome battery. Battery can last you a week or more without charging it.
Oh, you'll probably get cancer.
Yeah, you will. You probably definitely get cancer.
Why is this lump growing on the side of my leg? I don't know what's going on here. You just got all kind of stuff going on. You like, man, I just had the phone up to my ear, and I got this growth growing out of my ear, and I can't hear. I thought it was wax at first, but nah, it feel like skin. And then you look at the phone so long, you be like,
damn, it's growing ear too.
yeah, my eyes are growing wings.
I had no Red Bull today.
It's a whole thing of craziness going on, and I mean, man, I just wish they make battery life better. I know that they try to play it off like they optimize battery saver mode on the operating systems, but at the end of the day, it's still a huge battery in that sucker. And I don't know how much of that is optimization versus like sheer capacity of the battery. I mean, you can fool me, but so much. I'm just saying.
Let me tell you what the GS5 does. If you put on the ultra battery saving mode, it goes back into the 1920s. Your phone goes into black and white stages.
Doesn't it look like safe mode of Windows?
Yes, it
You
does.
get all the big icons and it goes like black and white and crap, and you're like, this is ugly, but I'm saving a lot of battery. You can't connect to the internet. You can't do
Nope,
anything.
you can't do nothing except for make a phone call.
Yeah, you're like, those are designed for those drunken nights to where you're at the bar and you realize you're not gonna get close to a charger anytime soon. So so you can call a cab or have somebody call a cab or an ambulance to come get you, you need to have I want to know who like consciously I'm messing up my words. Consciously I would I want to know who you know what I'm trying to say, damn it. I want to know who consciously puts the phone in that mode when they are inebriated. I want to know who does that to where, like, oh yeah, I'm going to get effed up tonight, battery life all night. Woo! Let's do it. Because you know when you're drunk, you want to post to Facebook. You want to tweet something crazy. You want to do Instagram. You get a selfie. You can't do any of that in that extreme power saver mode with the GS5. You can't do any of that. So who and at what point are you like, I'm good for the night? Let me put it in I'll call it safe mode. Let me put it in safe mode, and I'm good. Like, who does that? I don't know.
I know I wouldn't. Because I probably look at the phone and say, damn, did my phone break? I'm
This ain't my phone?
I'm going back to AT&T tomorrow.
This ain't what I bought.
Can you tell me what happened to this phone? Sir, if you take out the power ultra safe mode and go back, how the hell did he get on there?
Sir, you were drunk. No. The Instagram photo. You looking through my stuff? Oh my god. I remember when I used to root phones and I was doing like this really like experimental stuff with the ROMs. And if you know what I'm talking about already, you probably rooted your phone already. So I used to get one of those ROMs that were not like all the way baked, and then it'll get stuck on the boot screen. So there's a couple of times I had to take it into Verizon, and they always say that, oh yeah, if you root your phone, it voids the warranty, we can't do anything. But first of all, that's a lie. All you gotta do is not physically cause damage to the structure of the phone. If it's software, you can take that sucker back and they can fix it. So it was very embarrassing for me, the Celtech junkie, to go in and take the phone, like, just I admit failure. I kind of broke my phone. Can you fix it? And the guy was like, yeah, I can do it. Yeah. And it's one of those things, just similar to the same thing about you being in ultra power save mode and you don't know what the hell happened to your phone. And you go in there, you're like, sir, give us a few minutes. And they talk about you in the back. This guy is in here trying to get me to fix this phone. Is there something wrong with him? I don't know what's something wrong with this dude. He said he knows about phones, but apparently he doesn't. He's such an amateur. I know. And you can hear them talk about you. It's like the Chinese. I was in the liquor store today, and it's like the Chinese people. It was I don't know why. I don't know. It's not racist because first of all, moving here, I never known a Chinese family to own a liquor store. First time for everything. But this Chinese couple was dealing with this young man that was very unclear with his purchase request because he was on the phone. He was trying to get a Black and Mild. She gave him the whole pack. He was like, no, I don't. I just want one. And she turned to her husband. She's like, I'm like, yeah, I know what she's saying right now.
Yes, mother effer, I just want one.
And it's just like that in the cellular store. You take it back. You know this mofo didn't bring this in here. He's talking all that crap when he bought that phone. You don't know what he's doing. So you lost all your integrity. You lost all of that.
I remember my one phone I had with Best Buy, and I bought that program. They had the buyback program. Oh, yeah, I rooted my phone. Oh, yeah, I rooted it. And as soon as I got my 2-year contract up, I went back in, took that piece of shit back, and they bought it back. They couldn't even figure out if it was rooted or not. They just took it back. Gave me all the money I bought it from back.
Let me tell you about the Best Buy people. They really don't know much.
No, they don't. They just know how to sell stuff.
As a precautionary measure, just so I wouldn't waste my additional hour of my life, because I don't know if you ever been to Best Buy to purchase a cell phone. It is worse than being in the DMV in the 90s. It literally took me 2 hours to get one phone. I'm like, why? And they always get you because they have that special deal at the beginning of the year to where you get like this crazy deal where this free on contract or like $50, but you have to wait an hour in line for like 2 hours, and there's only 5 people ahead of you, and they work so slow. Oh my God, it is like you are fifth in line to buy a car. I'm like, oh my God, you are getting a cell phone. You are renewing your freaking contract. You're not getting a new one. You're just ringing up. All they have to do is type in your social security number, go in, update the account, ring you up, and get you the hell out. No. Oh my gosh. It took an hour for every last person. I'm like, are you kidding me? So when I went, I forget my point, but you go into Best Buy. First of all, they know nothing. So I'm sitting there educating all of them. And there's only one time a guy was on the same knowledge level. And sadly enough, he was Asian. I'm not even kidding. Not even kidding. And that's when I got the HTC One M8. And he was like...
You get the M8?
He was like, M7 last year. I did have that phone. That was a good phone. That phone let me know that there was major progress done by Android. Major progress. Like the Note 2 didn't do it for me. The Note 2 was huge. It worked a lot of the time, but sometimes it just had that little jank in it to where you were like, oh, it pisses me off. It was a good phone.
Man, you just had a miniature laptop to your ear with a Note 2. What are you talking about? Hello?
Oh my God.
Hello?
Yeah, it's so big. It is. Literally, I had no privacy with the phone. I literally had this to say to myself, I cannot read my text alone.
Hell no, the screen was too damn big. Anybody in the mom could see it.
It got to the point where I lie to you not. I don't know how good their eyesight was, but I was sitting in traffic at a light with the window down, reading my text, and I swear to Bob that the person in the other car in the other lane was reading my text. Because I looked and they were like, "Oh yeah, what the? Yeah, let me." So at that moment, I'm like, "Okay,
This
yeah,
motherfucker. Oh, this motherfucker knows what I'm texting.
you already got it out."
Yeah, I did. I try to catch myself, man.
Oh, but it was crazy. So I got the M7 and it was like, man, this phone I really saw major potential. And I recommend that phone to a lot of people. The camera sucked majorly.
4
But
megapixels, ultra pixels.
oh yeah, BS. BS. They had me. Look, they had me. They had me for about 2 weeks. Now I was like, man, this is like my BlackBerry, man. Man, it has a wide angle lens, but I can't zoom into this junk, man. What the? I don't know what's going on.
I can't even put an SD card in this junk. What are you talking about?
And it was like I had to tweak the camera. I promise you I was like on the verge of being a professional photographer because I had to go in and change the was it I'm not even going to try to say it because I'm going to mess it up. It's the ISO. I was trying to change the ISO setting. I was trying to change the aperture, trying to change the contrast, trying to change the saturation and all that. I was trying to do all that, and then I was like, this is too much work for a cell phone. Too much work. Let me get a real camera to do this. So I was like, this is not really good. If I have to go in and adjust the settings that much, then put on HDR mode to get a decent shot, I was like, this is too much. I just want to take a picture of my plate of food.
But me and you always agree. If you want to take a good camera, a good picture, buy a camera. Your camera phone, your phone ain't gonna be that good.
I've been saying it for 2 years. It doesn't matter if the show changed names 5 times, which I think it did. I've been saying if you want to take a good picture, get a damn camera.
A DSL, a DSR.
Yeah, don't get a DSL.
No, that's a crappy internet service.
Actually, that's another. If Marvin was on the show, he would have used another terminology for that.
Universe?
No, no.
No.
I'm not even gonna go down that road. No.
No, we gotta keep it clean. That's for Sunday night.
Yeah. No, I'm not even gonna go. Yeah. Be sure to remind me, but be sure to continue that in your brain for Sunday night because we will. If you don't know what DSLs are now, we're gonna clarify that on Sunday night. You're gonna either love us or hate us for doing that. But but speaking of Samsung, I saw something from Samsung this week. And I said it like maybe a few months ago when I noticed that the Gear 2 was coming out and they were running off of Tizen.
Bling bling.
I was like, there is going to be a point I see in the near future where Samsung is going to ditch Android and they're going to go full Tizen.
Yep.
And I saw a phone that has proof of this, and this made me this kind of solidified what I was saying, and I was like, maybe I'm a clairvoyant. Maybe I am a cellular clairvoyant. You know, maybe I can see the future in terms of cellular technology and business decisions with. So they have this phone. It's going to be released, I think, in Russia, Germany, somewhere in that area, to where it's going to have the first Tizen phone. I think it says Russia first, but it takes elements from the Galaxy phones that you use today. So the Galaxy S5, it has S Health, S Voice. It has some Android variants of Samsung apps, but it basically what it does is it takes Tizen, which is a hybrid of oh goodness. Hold on. I got it. Hold on. I got it. I didn't write it down, but I got to think. I got to think deep back. Symbian, and there's another old operating system that they merged it with Symbian and something else. I can't remember. Whatever. But they merged the two together and they got Tizen. So Tizen is supposed to be the first party in-house brew operating system from Samsung. All Samsung wants to do, and we saw this for years, all Samsung wants to do is be Apple Jr. And they want to make hardware and software. They were pimping Android for the longest. Since the first Galaxy S device. They were pimping Android. The first Galaxy S was terrible. I just want to go on record for saying that. It was not a good phone. People liked it. It was not a good phone compared to other phones. But they stuck with it. Their claim to fame was Android. They lost with Windows Phone, and you will, unless you're Nokia, which is owned by Windows or Microsoft. You're just going to lose. HTC dealt the same fate, And Samsung was like, we're going to ride this till the wheels fall off. We're going to ride Android till the wheels fall off. We're going to get you into the ecosystem with TouchWiz, and then we're going to make TouchWiz so overlaid, so heavy with features that we're going to transition you over to Tizen, and you not even know, you regular consumers that don't watch the MavCast, or big shout out to the Android Central podcast, or big shout out to the Joy Life podcast. If you don't watch these guys, you don't even know what base operating system you're dealing off of. The icons look like TouchWiz, and you don't even know. The camera effects, the camera settings, the features, all look like an Android TouchWiz phone. And they're trying to make it so seamless to where you don't even know what's going on. Then they got you. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go back to another Android phone? Or are you going to stay with what you know?
You're going to stay with what you know?
Brilliancy. Brilliant. And now they would have you. So I saw the first which I'm like, I know right now. I know right now. So they made Tizen work well with Android, because the Galaxy S4, 5, Note 2, and 3 are Android devices, and it works with the Gear devices. But the Gear 2 and the Gear Neo are Tizen. So how you get that to integrate so well? Well, they did it. And now I see in the next year, 2 years, you're not going to see any flagship Samsung phones on Android. So you guys that have gotten used to seeing Samsung and Android be a happy family, watch out. I declare it now. Right now, 10:29 on a Friday night, the 6th of June, 2014, Charlie Maverick has declared Samsung will drop Android like a bad habit in the next 18 months or earlier. I declare it now.
I believe you. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's functional. They don't see any noticeable hiccups. They took their time with the in-house, and they want to be like Apple. Now, here's the thing.
They want to be better
Android
than Apple, though.
I don't know if they will be, though. That's the thing. I think Samsung needs Android for the innovation. And I know that Samsung does not lack innovation at all, but there's something great about having Google in your back pocket. And I don't know if the the relationship with Samsung and Google is so strong to where they're going to help them with Tizen, which is a direct competitor to Android initially. Um, I don't know if they're going to be cool with that. You know, I honestly don't know how that's going to play out, but I know that Samsung is going to try their damnedest to try to get this out and to compete directly with Apple. And you see them skip around to different stuff. I mean, Samsung tried with Windows Phone. They backed out of the game real quickly. They got a couple of stragglers, but I mean, they know that's not their money maker. You got a low cost OS you can do anything to within a certain parameter, and you make all your money off of Android, and now you're about to make something similar. I wonder if Google will take the initiative and try to sue them. I wonder if that.
You know they will. I mean, everybody likes to sue everybody these days.
I think that'll be kind of messed up though, because Google has come to Samsung's rescue in the court cases against Apple, and they supported Samsung. And it seems like maybe a stab in the back a little bit to the hand that feeds you. Because would Samsung have been so successful if they didn't have Android as the base?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, Android helped them be where they at, like you said. I mean, you got to have somebody to fall back on. I mean, you got iOS. iOS wouldn't be so good, big and popular if it wasn't the iPhone.
Exactly. And it's just something interesting. I mean, I remember the Droid Charge, which is a Samsung phone that severely sucked. The Samsung Continuum, the Samsung Fascinate, the Samsung... There was a Windows phone that I had for a short period of time that was a Samsung. That was a piece of crap. I just want to say. So without Android on Samsung, I don't know if it would be successful. And a part of me does not want them to be. I don't know. And it's not that I hate the Koreans. I don't even know if I know a Korean. This is a weird thing. I wonder if I know a Korean. But look, it's not Kim Jong-il that is the leader of Samsung. So, you know, it's all good. Samsung has done great things. Look, I love Samsung. I don't have a Samsung phone. The curved TV. Oh man, I want one of them curved TVs, man.
You better wait. It'll break the bank.
What? I'm like, so only like Dr. Dre probably has one. Nope, can't say that. Can't say that.
No,
he's an Apple employee now, so he's like, you better not get that. I know LeBron James has one. He probably got a free one.
You know they get all his stuff for free, man. Come on now.
Yeah. And then who else? Oh man, I don't even know.
Those things are nice, but woo, the price.
Yeah, man. It's something to say about that, to where you get a big curved screen like that looks like an IMAX screen in your house. Will you go to work?
No.
Like, of course not.
I have
no freaking point.
I have my 75-inch curved TV. Go to work. Work coming to me.
I'm doing work on this Netflix, you know what I'm saying? Oh man. So Amazon. I guess we gotta talk about this Amazon 3D phone.
Piece of crap phone?
Yeah. Yeah. What I don't HTC tried it, failed.
LG tried it.
Failed.
That was a piece of crap phone I had for 2 years. I had to have it for 2 years. It was a piece of crap.
I could have showed you how to get out of that, but sorry.
You didn't know me back then.
I know. And to be honest, the only way that the movie makers get me to watch 3D now is if it is. You can't get into IMAX movie without 3D. So I am forced to watch 3D if I want to see IMAX, which pisses me off. Give me a non-3D version. So you want to do this 3D, and the speak upon that, you got the 4K televisions which already have the 3D built in it. To try to get you at the back end, like, get a 4K TV, it has 3D in it. Maybe I might watch some 3D. Then you have the numbers skewed because people didn't really go out to get a 3D TV. They went out to get a 4K TV, and it just happened to run 3D stuff. And you can view stuff in 3D on Netflix and whatnot. And you're like, ooh, 3D. Oh, all right. That was a great bonus. But do you really want a phone that has all these cameras in the front? I think like 4 or 5 cameras in front. And you have to, like, every time you turn it, I mean, it's cool when you first get it for showroom stuff, but when you first get it, like on daily use, do you really want to get a headache for looking at your phone screen notification?
Nope.
Exactly. And it has been proven. It's been proven on the Droid 3, the Evo 3D, that it gives you headaches. On the DS, one of the DSIs or whatever, had 3D, give people headaches. You watch some movies with 3D, gives you headaches. No question about it. I watched a 3D movie
I never
before.
got headaches from it, but I know some people do because the I forget what they call it, with the eyes and everything. It just makes you get headaches.
It's something to do with depth perception. So you got good 3D and you got bad 3D. You got the great 3D like Up, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the animated computer generated 3D.
Don't mention that movie around Harry. He will slap you.
But that was good 3D opposed to like Clash of the Titans. Terrible 3D. That almost killed 3D. Almost killed 3D. Which
Transformers 3D was good.
It was good, but see, a lot of 3D is not necessary. You got all those metal parts moving in this 3D, dude. I had a major headache, along with the sound effects from that movie. I walked out of there with a migraine. Not to say I didn't enjoy the movie, because I absolutely did. And guess what? They're gonna put this new Transformers movie in IMAX 3D. I will take 2 Excedrin before I go into the movie theater. I'm prepared now, okay? I'm prepared now. I'm going to go into the movie theater prepared. Pop it. And you're like, man, my head does not hurt. I do not know what's going on. And it's funny thing that they have to drop the frame rates of the movie, which pissed me off. You have to drop the frame rates to get the 3D aspect, to get those panes, what those layers. And you sit there and you're like, you can see the motion blur with stuff, and I'm like, oh, that could have been so much better if it wasn't in 3D. And I don't know if it's my eyes or whatever. I don't have the best eyes remotely in the world. But I'm like, oh my God, what? And you watch a whole movie for maybe like 1 or 2 scenes with 3D, and you're like, I paid $3 more for like a scene. Thank you so much. I could have went without that. You had the sword come out like that.
And that was 3D. That's the only scene that was in 3D, the sword coming at you. That was it.
Yeah, and look at it. Look at it. That's almost 3D. You didn't have to pay anything for that. Look at it. It's coming at you. Look at it.
We get that for free on the MavCast. 3D.
3D. Look at it. It's coming at you. Boom. That's 3D.
If you have a 1080p TV, you've been seeing that in 1080p.
Exactly. Look, we are giving back to the internet.
One small step.
You've got butt hurt by cinema prices and price gouging of 3D. I wish that.
I'll do it again. Watch this. It's free.
I wish they would give you the option when you're ticket buying to, like, you already have a pair of these. Don't charge me the $3 extra. Like that'd be cool, right?
That
If you
would be cool.
just go ahead and Best Buy, and I think that's a good industry. You buy the 3D glasses for the TVs, and I know they're proprietary. There's it's a certain tweak to IMAX 3D to where you need the bigger frames because of the bigger screen and all that. They should charge what, $4 for one pair one time. If you have to get a replacement, charge again, whatever. But you should have the option to say, "Ooh, I have these already. I'm gonna bring them to the theater with me. Don't charge me the extra $3. Or if I don't have it, just go ahead and charge me $3." It's kind of like riding a train. You know,
Yeah.
you get a train ticket. You don't have a ticket. Then charge me extra. If I already have one, a reloadable one, let me go ahead and put more money on it, and let me go. So it's like you put more money on your 3D glasses, put more money on the 3D glasses, watching another movie. If you don't have the 3D glasses, you got to purchase the 3D glasses and purchase the movie. That makes total sense.
It does. Just like I was in Atlanta, I got me one of those cards for the MARTA system.
Yeah, it's genius, right? I mean, because they get $1 a hit. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, hopefully you don't lose your card. If you do, oh well, whatever.
It's only $1.
Yeah, it's only $1, and if somebody finds it, then they can reuse it. They don't have to make another one. I mean, unless you tie it to an account online, which it doesn't matter if you do that or not. But I mean, it'll make perfect sense to the cinemas to do that because they don't get paid off the movie until it's like second run. Um, let those money goes like to the concession costs. If they pay for the glasses, let it go to them. I wonder if that happens. Like, does the cost, the $3 extra for the 3D glasses, does that go to directly to the cinema, or for like, does it go to the movie provider just to recoup the cost of shooting it in 3D?
I'm
I wonder
assuming it
that.
goes directly to the movie theater as a profit.
And that's messed up, you know, because the actual movie theater has to maintain and re-clean these stuff because they want you to put it back in the bin so they
Mm-hmm.
can re-clean it, or they say they're re-cleaning it. I wish I would get an STD for one of them junks. I wish I don't wish I would, but you know, dude, seriously, if I come out there with a bum bump, I'm just saying, bum bump on my nose, you know, just have this bunch of bumps on my nose, and I don't know where it came from. Totally pissed off. So the theater has to maintain it, and they don't get a cut. Seriously wrong. Seriously broken system.
The only 3D glasses I turn in is the one for the IMAX. The one that you get for like in the plastic already, you open up, I take them with me.
I do too. I still have the Superman, the Man of Steel ones. I have that in my car.
But I am going to get me an IMAX pair. I'm going to leave before the show ends. I'll get me a damn IMAX pair.
I had a perfect opportunity to keep 2 pairs of IMAX ones because they didn't put the bin outside. But I was a good Samaritan, and I put it into a neighboring 3D glasses bin. Let them sort it. And people were doing pretty well. The behavior has been taught already to. I mean, it's kind of defeats the purpose of even saving them because you're still going to get charged on the next movie that you go watch it, which just pisses people off. And
Because you know the glasses ain't that expensive though.
it's not. I mean, it probably costs $1 to make.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Or less.
Probably less. I mean, it's probably computer machined, manufactured. I'm pretty sure. And then it's made out of all plastic, and the lenses aren't hard plastic like the real 3D ones. So they technically should be cheaper to make than the real 3D glasses. So I don't know. I mean, whatever. It's a conversation that can go on for freaking days. So I don't know we don't know what the actual phone looks like from Amazon. It's supposed to be released this summer. Whatever. I mean, what carriers are going to pick them up? We don't know. So more news to come on that. Because I'm sorry, they decided to leak a video to the internet, and I felt obligated to talk about it. So
Most of the carriers is going to pick it up just in case somebody do want the phone.
I know for sure that AT&T above anybody else, because they've been notorious for getting phones that nobody else wants to carry, like the Galaxy Mega,
Mm-hmm.
like the Motorola Atrix,
Yep.
like was it the Samsung Galaxy 4 and
Or
5
active.
Active? Yeah,
Yep.
nobody wants that, but I mean, whatever. So they'll probably get it and not sell anything because when you come into the store, they'll probably try to sell you an iPhone, or they'll probably try to sell you a Galaxy S5. One of the two. Yeah, that's what they do. Whatever. That's what they're trying to do. Get the most bang for the buck. Get the quickest sale. People know two things: iPhone, Galaxy S5. Get them out the door. Sell some more. Whatever. So about this Spurs thing.
Conspiracy, I say.
I feel sad for LeBron James. I really do.
Yeah, I'm surprised a lot more players didn't cramp up because of how hot it was in the arena.
I want to say this, and if you haven't heard about this, you lived under a rock. During the game, the finals game yesterday, first game, game one in San Antonio versus the Spurs in the Heat. If you really live under a rock,
You live on a rock underneath a rock underneath a rock.
in the Alamo.
Uh,
The AT&T Center where the Spurs play. Something happened where the AC went out. All the fans had fans and were fanning themselves. Whew, triple entendre. And and then LeBron James caught a cramp in the third quarter, had to go out. Media made a whole big thing about it, saying Michael Jordan didn't do it when he scored 50 against the Celtics in the 80s. The Boston Garden was notorious for having no AC on. Well, it's true. I mean,
yeah.
they all look glossy back then. I'm just saying. And it was the fact, and you kind of knew that, right? Because they took a picture of Pat Riley sitting in the stands, and he had his suit on, and they were like, Pat Riley's not sweating. Pat Riley was a coach through those days, and he was a player that probably had to play in those types of environments. I'm sure he was not worried about that. He had no fan.
He was used to it, though.
Totally used to it. But people make this big thing about LeBron cramping up, like he was the only one cramping up. But you got to remember, LeBron is the most active person on the court. He is probably the person with the least body fat versus muscle. And because he expends so much energy, he cannot keep his electrolytes up to where he will not catch a cramp. So if it's humid, hot, steamy in the building, he's probably going to get a cramp.
Yeah.
Now the whole thing about what did they say, the generator going out?
They said something with a generator or the breaker went off. They couldn't get the breaker turned back on.
So you are an expert at electrical configurations.
Yep.
Are you not?
Yes, I am.
Please break it down to where we can debunk this theory that it was what they said it was.
First of all, had the generator kick on like they're supposed to, they would have lost power to the whole building first, and it would have took 10 seconds before the generator kicked on to make the lights come back on.
That did not happen.
No, the lights stayed on during the whole game. Everything stayed lit up. Number two, if it was the breaker that malfunctioned, it would have malfunctioned earlier when they first turned on the breaker. It would have automatically tripped right then. That would have told them they would have had either a short circuit or a bad breaker.
So what you're trying to say is they purposely did this.
I'm saying, you guarantee they went up to the breaker box and no AC for y'all. We losing? Ha-ha! AC!
They were like, "Hey, you remember when he played the Thunder? Yeah, he crapped up. Popovich, what do you think? Yeah, let's do it. All right.
Timeout. Give that little cold signal out.
Cuckoo.
Turn off the AC, man.
Watch
James is
what.
killing us out there.
And, oh man, I was watching Sports Center since I got home. Nothing but that. Like 90% of the Sports Center program was about that. Analysis. I watched Around the Horn. The majority of that was about LeBron. I watched part of the interruption. Most of that, I'm like, the dude caught a cramp. Is it? Can you find nothing else to talk about?
You know why they're doing it, right? They're trying to keep the comparing this of Michael Jordan to somebody else. Since if Jordan caught a cramp, you know he wouldn't leave the game. But every cramp ain't the same, though.
LeBron James couldn't walk.
No, he couldn't. He had to be carried to the bench when he got to the scorer's table.
And in his defense, LeBron James has played through injury. And some of the injuries that we didn't even know about because he didn't talk about them. The way that he plays, I mean, he doesn't miss games like that. He doesn't like go make excuses like, oh man, my thumb hurts, I ain't gonna play. Oh man, I got a headache. Oh man, my side hurts, and stuff like that. He doesn't do that. He plays. He might have one of the highest attendance records of the new school of ballers that we have seen, and he's always out there giving his 100%. I mean, arguably he doesn't because of the naysayers and the people that just critique him down to like the every minute of the game that he plays. But people, I tell you what, I'll give you an example. I went down to New Orleans one time. No, Baton Rouge. I went down to Baton Rouge, not prepared to play basketball outside.
Popeyes.
And it was July. And I had on jeans and a long sleeve. Look, compared to South Carolina and Baton Rouge, it's like being in Alaska versus Texas. I mean, it's hot, but damn it, that's a different kind of heat.
Yes, so, there's no humidity almost.
I was not. Baton Rouge is effing humid. I mean, dude, you think Charleston is bad? Dude, Texas is no humidity. Texas is like almost desert type thing. Houston is humid, but to other Texas, fine. Baton Rouge, you like pass out. New Orleans, I don't even remember how New Orleans is. Whatever.
I've been to New Orleans a couple times. It's humidity there.
I tell you, if I didn't, I cramped up on the blacktop in Goose Creek. For those of you who don't know where Goose Creek is, it's in South Carolina near Charleston. So, when I tell you I was on there about to pass out and die, because you just don't take breaks and drink water. In the 90s, 80s, stuff like that, you just don't take breaks, drink water. You play basketball all day, you ain't gonna pass out. If you pass out, you probably ain't gonna make it. You probably just die. But it was 90 in the high 90s in that arena. Hot breath going everywhere. If he had Lance Stevenson in his face, like in the Pacers series, he would have fell out because he had hot breath. Okay, but you had hot breath everywhere, and then the fans that were doing nothing were fanning like they were sitting outside in the hottest possible baseball game, or old school Southern Baptist church. And then you had people expending their energy to. I mean, look, LeBron James was trying to put his team back ahead, and he got a layup to make his team contend, and he realized, oh crap, I might not be able to finish because I can't walk because I have a cramp. Now I don't know if you ever played with a cramp doing anything. I tried to cut grass with a cramp. It didn't work out so well. I tried to walk with a cramp.
That don't work too well.
You ever woke up and you just had a cramp?
Yes.
How did that turn out?
Like shit.
Exactly. So imagine you being dehydrated. Like everybody was dehydrated. Tim Duncan talked about being dehydrated. Imagine you being dehydrated by playing so hard. You have a low percentage of body fat. That means that you are excreting more electrolytes than you are putting in. You're excreting more hydration than you're putting back into your body. And the salt from your sweat is coming out of your body more than you can
put it back in.
That means, I'm not a medical professional, but I'm pretty sure you're going to get a cramp.
You got that right.
And everybody's body operates differently. But you have to take into account that if his body operates to a way that he's going to catch a cramp and these type of conditions, that's what's going to happen. It doesn't make him a lesser of a player. It doesn't make him a quitter. It means that he couldn't freaking play. That's all. And to compare him with Michael Jordan, look, Michael Jordan is smaller. Michael Jordan stayed hydrated. He was the person that branded Gatorade to no avail. I mean, to all avail. All avail. He was there, the front runner of Gatorade. And I didn't see LeBron James drinking anything. I saw him with the ice pack on. I didn't see him really drinking or hydrating like he should. Maybe he didn't think these conditions needed all that hydration. Maybe he's like, maybe I don't want to go pee in the middle of the game. I mean, and that makes me wonder, like if you're like really going at it and you're staying hydrated, do you hold your pee? Like really, like in football, like if you have, I refuse to believe that everybody on the football field never has an occurrence to where they have the bubble guts. And you know how hard it is to take off all your pads and all that stuff to go ahead and like sit on the toilet. I wonder if they wear a diaper or something. I mean, I know there are athletes out there that say no, it just holds off like when you're having sex, you don't just pee. You know? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh my! We're going to get somebody else in there. April gonna make a comment.
You know when you say something and you look up and somebody's staring right at you. You're like, I don't know why I just said that. Oh, all right. Well, anyway, so woo. So that conspiracy theory. You think it'll happen to LeBron next game?
No, because they've been brought out about it already.
You think they would turn off the AC in the next game?
They could, but what bullshit excuse they didn't come up with next? That they ran out of Freon?
Ran out of Freon. I mean, I don't know. Look, they have the AC on for a concert tonight, so apparently the AC works. So they have no excuse. I think the league is people want to say that if the AC miraculously goes out again, they should be fined.
They should.
I'm pretty sure they'll take that fine if they can win another game.
Because you got to think about it. It was like 88 degrees outside, maybe. Then when you get in that building, it's like 95, 98, and
Hot breath.
you got 20,000 people in that arena.
And hot breath.
And hot breath. Somebody's going to pass out for overheated, and they're going to get eventually sued for it.
Yeah, and we don't know. I mean, LeBron was supposed to come up from like a, meager, childhood, whatever. But I don't know how much he played outside. Maybe he was the kind of person that always had the ability to play indoors somewhere.
Yeah, that could be a possibility.
Hey, not everybody had to play outside. I mean, he was a prodigy. He was a child prodigy. So maybe they saw him play outside in a younger age. And back in the day, you play outside. When you're a kid, you could just play in the desert and not pass out. I remember playing basketball in the summers in August, and
you played all day.
You played all day, and I don't think you drank anything. And you like no cramp, no nothing. I mean, you're a kid. But when he got to that age to where like 12, 13, he was like bigger than everybody and all that, he probably just played inside. He probably was molded and everything. He played inside, and he never had to deal with those conditions ever again. He has an indoor court in his house. When people say let's play a pickup game, he probably invites them to his house to play the game. He probably doesn't go outside. He was like, why am I going outside for? I'm a millionaire. Come to my house. We probably have Jay-Z like chilling, on the sidelines, or he might be playing with me. Jay-Z, he want to be inside and whatnot. So, I mean, not everybody has gone through the same conditions, But honestly, what's going to happen, and I see a trend that might happen with game preparation, is they might have some way to where they might either do one or two things. They might have a practice once in a while with no AC on, or they're going to play or have some practice outside.
This is how I think the Spurs train this way. They train one day with the AC on, and the next day they go into the arena. So they ain't gonna do nothing. They just turn on the heat and they sit there and just act like they training for that day in the heat. So the next day they come in, no problem. They are rested. Turn off the AC if you want to. We can play in this.
I think what happened? I think George Gervin, the Hall of Famer George Gervin, Iceman. I think he flipped the breaker. He was like, "Nah, LeBron, ain't gonna happen."
That's the one they send to. Ha ha! Hit the breaker.
Iceman. Isn't that ironic? It's getting hot in here. Oh man. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. At this point, I really don't care who wins. I'm not gonna be mad if the Spurs win. Honestly,
I'm not gonna be mad either. I mean, I'd rather see the Heat win because of the East Coast, the Eastern Conference. But if Tim Duncan gets us another ring, I'd be happy with that. I mean, or Dwayne Wade or LeBron James, Jesus Ellsworth, if they all get rings, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, totally.
He knows I left off Christina Boss because he don't count because he ain't part of the three.
Yeah. Chris Bosh was sitting on the bench
right
with his ice pack. He was like, "It's so hot in here. It's so hot." He didn't do anything.
His name is not Chris Bosh. His name is Christina. Get it right.
Christina Velociraptor Bosch.
That's right.
Man, yeah. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that remain to be seen in these playoffs. And to wrap it up with the tech, there's a whole bunch of things to be seen with the tech.
Yeah.
We just got to see how both of these things are going to play out. I can't wait to see how the playoffs are going to end, the finals. I can't wait to see how and to tie it back, it's like a continuous finals series between Apple and Android. But I want you guys to realize one thing. On Apple's board, there is an executive from Google sitting on Apple's board. So the battle lines that you have drawn between your OS that you use and your friend's OS that you're not so fond of, and you probably haven't used extensively enough to draw a proper judgment off of it, that does the exact same thing. I want you to think about this. Corporations try to divide and conquer from a perception standpoint so they can put into your mind that they really don't like each other, and to draw sides to where you pick what you want, and then you talk crap about everybody else. How many times have you seen in the early stages, like I'm talking about early 90s, late 80s, you had Nike against Reebok, battle lines drawn. How many times have you seen Mac against Windows, battle lines drawn? Now the thing is iOS versus Android. You want to know who kept Mac going? You want to know who made a contribution? I don't know if you tech people really know about this, but unless you did some research. But the only thing that kept Apple going was a major contribution and investment from Bill Gates. And Apple fanboys did not like that, but I bet you they accepted it so they can keep buying Apple products. I want you to think about this. There's a head of, I think is Sundar Pichai, or one of them guys. Oh, forgive me if I'm wrong, but he's one of them sit on Apple's board. And it's not inside baseball, it's public knowledge. And you have to realize that these two companies use same information. They share some type of things, even though the perception is they hate each other. They don't. They don't. If they hated each other, guess what? The Google stuff wouldn't work on iPhone. You wouldn't have people at the Google complex carrying around Macs and iPhones. You have a choice. The majority of the people at the Google complex actually use Apple products. You think they care? No. Because guess what? Google is an advertising company. It's a search company. Guess what you can do on the iPhone? It's not Bing. It's Google. Please get your life right, people. There are no battle lines drawn except the ones that you draw. So I want to keep reminding you, if you want to go back and listen extensively to iPhone versus Android, there is a show back in the archives, way back in the archives on iTunes with the MavCast that you can listen to, and is the iOS free agent. I talked to Barry Washington, and we go really far in depth about how the false discrepancies are made. So do that. But me and Jimbo, we use both. There's no lines. One is good at other things, and the other is not so good at it. And then it flip-flops. So, I mean, it's not apples and oranges, pun intended. But you have to realize they make things to work better for you. You don't have to like Android. You don't have to like Apple. You don't have to like anything. You can freaking like Windows, or you can be the people that's still on BlackBerry. You're probably in Canada.
You're probably living under the rock.
You're probably living under the BlackBerry bush. You're probably in Waterloo, Canada.
Antarctica.
Antarctica. God help you. Please move out of Antarctica if you live there.
If you're not already frozen to death.
I was just saying, if people are always gonna want something to hate.
You can't please everybody. Everybody knows that. There's always going to be something the other person don't like about something.
Yeah, always, always. Polo against Ralph Lauren back in the '90s. Uh,
Tom, Tommy versus Polo.
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Tommy versus Polo, and now you got. Then you had Jay-Z against Nas.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever. Then you had Biggie against Tupac.
Which they were friends until up to a point.
Yeah. Then you had Kobe against LeBron. They're actually friends.
Kobe versus Shaq.
Kobe versus Shaq. They were friends until a certain point.
Until Kobe messed that up.
Then you had man, Mercedes against BMW. Well, yeah, they're still going against each other. They're not friends. They're totally not friends. Now you got Audi against everybody. So,
yep, the best German automobile out there, they say.
Yeah, man.
You got the Ferrari versus the Lamborghini.
Oh man, you got the Phantom against the Maybach. They stopped making Maybachs though. So guess who won?
Phantom.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're always gonna have something. You got Verizon versus AT&T.
Yeah.
T-Mobile versus Sprint, but guess what? Sprint's about to buy T-Mobile, so guess who won that?
Not Sprint.
Oh man, is it? Look, people don't have to draw like battle lines against stuff. Show love, man.
Not against everything, man. You got to have some kind of common piece with something.
Well, here's the thing. They did it for a reason because they know the human psyche and competition thrives where there's innovation. So competition creates innovation. I mean, so you need that.
It also makes money.
You got to make that bottom line, man. Because if the stockholders ain't happy,
you ain't making jack.
You about to get shut down. That's how it is, people. So we're about to wrap up, man. It's been a wonderful show. It's been a wonderful Friday evening with the MavCast. Me and Jimmy. We do what we can to keep you informed. Make sure that you tune into Jimbo Knows all the time. Pretty far in-depth analysis about the playoffs. So tell people how to find you and tell them more about the show.
More about the show. The next show is going to be right after the finals. We're going to talk about the winners and the losers and what happens in the series. Find me you can find me on Google Plus, Jimmy Banks. You can find me on Facebook, Jimmy Banks. Instagram, Jimbo's 2006. Twitter, Jimbo2914. And that's all.
All right. I'm still trying to figure out who is still on Twitter except people that are getting caught up in on like ESPN and TMZ and stuff like that. Well,
I don't get none of the TMZ, but I get a lot of ESPN updates on Twitter.
Yeah, man. It just seems like a platform for people to get caught up in their First Amendment rights gets violated a lot. So, I don't know about Twitter. There's probably still hope, but I hope they make it because they've gone public on the stock market, so they have to see some success. But you can follow if you choose to. If you do tweet or you follow people, you can see the show listings, show post on Twitter at the MavCast. Follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/the MavCast. The MavCast.blogspot.com. Living Room Productions at .blogspot.com. Sorry. So we got two blogs. iTunes. Shooting the Ish on Sunday at what time do I have it at? 8 o'clock? I thought it was a 10. I don't know. I don't know what I have it at, man. I think it's an 8. If it's not an 8, I'm gonna change it to 8. That's on Sundays at 8. Uh, Tune into the channel, Living Room Productions podcast channel. We have about 4 shows, right? 4 shows that we do, and hopefully you can find something that interests you in one of those shows. Please support all the shows by subscribing to all the podcast channels and YouTube channels from the content creators. Follow all the content creators from the Living Room Productions podcast channel on Google Plus. Keep up with the posts. Please go to the community Living Room Productions podcast channel on Google Plus. Gotta be on Google Plus, man. You really gotta do it. That's where you get the best content at. Facebook, you get buried in the everyday rigmarole of tweets and just posts and all that. But you want raw content, you go on Google Plus. It's free, man. You don't have to have friends, but if you want friends, we're here for you. We'll give you like a virtual hug, 3D virtual hug. All right. Bring it. All right. So, if you love the show, you can donate to the show if you like. I'm just saying. There is a donation spot on the blog site if you feel so inclined to do so. I will not reject any type of donation payment whatsoever. It'll go to a good cause. Feed my belly. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say more alcohol.
No, it'll help with the upgrade to the quality of show. We can probably entice more guests to come on. I guess we have to pay them to come on, right? We can push out more things in terms of how you watch and all that. I'm just saying. If you love it, support it. You give money in church. This might not be church, but doggone it, this is a religion. Not really. I'm just lying. I'm sorry for saying that. I offended like 5,000 people just now. This is not a religion. This is not a cult. I am not a cult leader. I just used that as an analogy. Please don't hate me. Please don't call me an atheist. I am not. I love everyone. I love God. All right. Anyway, let's get out of here before I turn into Donald Sterling Jr. All right. Say goodnight to America, Jimmy.
All right. See you next time.
Oh, Korean people, I'm sorry that I don't know anybody. I know some Filipinos, though, so they're kind of like neighbors. Not really. You gotta cut it off.
You better cut it off before you stick your foot in your mouth.
All right, bye, people. Bye. Bye, MavCast.
Peace.